All right, you guys are recording. So hi and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new reaction video and we're gonna check out some basketball. This video is called It's All Over for Them. So we're gonna see what this one is gonna be about. I'm not gonna ramble. Let's get straight into it.
He's an upset we've ever seen and a man on a mission to prove he is the best player on the planet.
Jokic?
Now we knew the playoffs would be good. But without fail, the NBA has outdone itself once again. Because this has been the wildest, weirdest, and most unpredictable playoffs I've ever seen.
Nuggets? It's crazy.
The Spoelstra.
Yeah, shout out to them. But this is all something good. Okay.
The NBA playoffs, where legends are made and others are not. The conference finals are just getting started and 3 postseason coaches have already been fired, which is just more evidence that in corporate America you can lose your job for other people not doing theirs. 4 teams are left standing, and for some odd reason, I feel like I've seen this before. I can't put my finger on it, but I swear that this has happened before. Anyways, the 2023 NBA postseason has been wild, and it all started with the Bucks,
Shush.
not failing by being the first 1 seed in league history to be bounced out of the playoffs in just 5 games, taking the title as the worst 1 seed playoff team from the 2007 Mavericks, who won 2 games against the We Believe Warriors before getting sent home. And to think I used numbers to almost pick the Bucks to win it all this season. Talk about dodging a bullet. Instead, I picked the most stress-inducing team in the history of the NBA to win it all. How Celtics fans can watch this team regress into the Charlotte Bobcats for a game and then look like the dream team in the next is beyond me. Have you ever seen an MVP candidate forget how to play basketball for 3.5 quarters? I have, but unfortunately for Sixers fans, they just found out what the rest of us already knew. Embiid and Harden are ass in the playoffs. And in the same conference, the Heat escape the Knicks and find themselves in the conference finals for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. The most awesome, mediocre, great team I've ever seen in my life. And as much as Jimmy Butler has done for this group, we need to give Eric Spoelstra his flowers. He has now coached the Heat to 7 conference finals over the last 13 seasons, which means Eric Spoelstra has more conference finals appearances since 2011 than every single one of these teams have in the history of their franchise. Meanwhile, over in the West, the Phoenix Suns fulfill their annual duty of exiting the playoffs in horrific fashion. And what's a Suns playoff series without a historic run by an opposing player? Because Nikola Jokic just put together one of the greatest playoff series in NBA history. In the 6 games against the Suns, Jokic averaged 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists per game on 60% shooting. The man put up 24, 19, and 5 in game 1, and it was easily his worst game of the entire series. In fact, here are the top 100 players of the playoffs this season in terms of box plus minus. At literally the very bottom, you have, Climb this chart and you'll find some underwhelming players so far in the postseason, like Jordan Poole at -3.3, Klay Thompson with a BPM of -2.7, and Bam Adebayo. Keep climbing and you'll find some solid contributors like Austin Reeves, Malcolm Brogdon, and Caleb Martin. And to find the best players of the 2023 postseason, we have to go all the way up this chart to players like Anthony Davis and Stephen Curry. But in a class of their own is Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and Devin Booker, who all have postseason BPMs near or above double digits. Now, having a double-digit BPM in the playoffs is phenomenal. We're talking MVP caliber runs here. And then there's Nikola Jokic, who is treating the NBA playoffs like it's the Summer League. So it turns out you cannot win an NBA championship with 2 players after all. And it really was a 2-player effort by the Suns, since Devin Booker and Kevin Durant combined for the most points per game by 2 players in a playoff run in over 60 years. Just the 2 of them made up for over half of the Suns' total points in the postseason. The perfect recipe for a 2nd-round exit. But scoring is something that the best players in today's NBA have mastered, because the 2023 NBA playoffs featured 7 of the top 10 playoff scorers in modern NBA history. No matter how you slice it, whoever wins the title this season will have to go through multiple.
Oh, Luka missed the playoffs. Okay.
Generational
He
talent.
injured?
And in a second round series that feels like the damn NBA Finals, the Lakers defeated the Warriors in 6 games, possibly ending one of the greatest dynasties the league has ever seen. And as much as Steph has truly carried the offensive load for this team, the one thing he can't seem to do is knock down a game-winning shot. Because after their playoff exit this season, Curry is now 0 for 12 on go-ahead shots with 45 seconds or less in the game. The greatest shooter of all time, and yet he has struggled his entire career to hit the biggest shots, bringing truth to the words that a wise man once told me.
I want Iguodala.
But this loss from the Warriors truly marks the end of an era. In the 9 seasons that Steve Kerr has been the head coach of the Warriors, the team has
I don't know, that was funny. Just how he said.
Never lost a series to another Western Conference team. A fact that sounds like I just made it up, but I didn't. Starting with Kerr's first season as the Warriors head coach in 2015, he began his tenure with a bang, winning a championship. And then they lost to the Cavs in the finals. And then they won back-to-back titles, lost to the Raptors in the finals, missed the playoffs for 2 seasons, and then beat the Celtics in the finals. The irony of this dynasty possibly ending at the hands of LeBron James, of all people, only adds another layer to the long and illustrious rivalry that he has with Steph Curry. A rivalry that spans nearly a decade and has featured 28 playoff games, despite them being in different conferences for the vast majority of their careers. For reference, Chris Paul and Steph have been in the same conference for 15 seasons, and they've only faced each other in 18 playoff games. Russell Westbrook and Steph have been in the same conference for virtually their entire careers, and they've only faced off in 7 playoff games. But if that's not crazy enough, LeBron James spent 15 seasons in the Eastern Conference. The 3 teams he's faced the most in the playoffs throughout his career are the Celtics, the Pacers, and the Warriors, a rivalry that has been cemented in NBA history. But in their most recent series, we cannot discount the efforts of Anthony Davis, the only player I've ever seen in my life who can go from looking like Anthony Bennett to a prime Shaquille O'Neal in the span of 48 hours. Yeah, playoff AD, let's go. Oh, he sucks. Oh wait, he's amazing. Never mind. Oh, he's back. No, he's not. He's literally Wilt Chamberlain. I hate him. No, I don't. Anthony Davis's inconsistency should be studied in a lab. And so does LeBron's playoff scoring, which brings us to our annual breakdown of the most unbreakable record in all of basketball. This season, LeBron surpassed Kareem as the NBA's all-time leading scorer, but his position as the all-time leading playoff scorer has been the top spot since 2017. And since then, LeBron has been piling up his career playoff point total, bringing him to his current record of 7,912 career playoff points. And when looking at active players and who might have a shot at catching him, the answer is none of them. And the answer will always be none of them. LeBron is a playoff anomaly, but he has his work cut out for him on his path to winning another ring, because the 2023 playoffs have been historic, unpredictable, stressful, and better than we could have imagined.
Ooh, that was a good video. Interesting one. It filled in, you know, for someone who's not from America and, you know, don't watch the games at 4 in the morning. So I want to be more updated in basketball. I love the game. So a good video. Interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll see you in another video. Appreciate you watching. Bye. Might make an IRL basketball video because it's summertime now. It's coming. Highlight video of me playing basketball.